Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Nature Meets Paper, the place where we go on an adventure to discover the world of marine biology. You clicked on the blue thumbnail, which means that you're interested in art. This is the segment that I call How To Art. Today we're going to be drawing the Bluespine Unicornfish. I post a new video every Tuesday and Saturday, and the Tuesday video features how I do my art. Brush is ready, let's dive in. For this painting, I used Liquitex Basic Acrylic paints on a Canon Canva artboard. I like working small so I can work fast. The canvas I use is already primed with white primer. The smoother your canvas or paper is, the more detail you can get. I could go over my artboards with gesso and sand them to be perfectly smooth, but at this moment I don't have time to wait for all of that to dry and for the sanding process. I like starting with my background and an outline with my subject. I can get a smooth look with light layers of paint. Since it's the first coat, I don't worry about brush strokes. I just want to cover the canvas while leaving my subject area white. I start with my midtones. This process means I find the average color for an area. I let that layer dry, then work on my dark tones. For this piece, I didn't feel like spending too much time on the water surface. I wanted a loose feel that didn't detract from the main subject. After I add my dark tones, I add my highlights. I blend in my midtones with white for the highlights. I don't use white until the very end of my painting. Now that my background is dry and blocked in, I can work on my first layers of my subject. I have a line drawing for my guide. This shows where colors will change. I start with greens and blues, then I add some purples for the muscle tones on the sides. This fish looks like it has stripes, but it is just muscle structure underneath the skin. Unfortunately, I mixed my colors too dark for my first layer. This is fine. I glaze with lighter colors to fix it in the later steps. This just means it will be harder for me to keep my detail in the future layers. I make mistakes all the time, but don't ever let them bother me. I try to cover them up. I work with paint, and paint can be removed quickly or layered over. Now I'll be honest here, and I'll tell you, I was experimenting with my painting and I ruined my first attempt. I wanted to use pouring medium to create nice water spots and ripples on the surface. It turned out to make a huge mess, and it ruined one of my canvas boards. And I will rarely throw away a mistake, but in this instance I couldn't salvage the piece and I had to throw it away. I used my finger to blend this piece. It allows you to blend and make the paint look soft and smooth. I know that these paints are non-toxic and they will wash away with some hot water, soap, and some scrubbing. Please don't touch materials that can be harmful to your health. Look at the description on the back of your product to make sure that you're being safe. I work with similar colors and let them rest for a few minutes before moving on. I really felt like I was not getting the colors light enough for this piece. I used water for my glazing to thin the paint pigment down. Don't get it too thin or it won't be able to stick to the layer beneath it. I just imagine I am a sculptor and I need to push and blend my paint in certain ways and make it look nice and smooth. To get the depth I need to push the subject back with my darks and pull it forward with my lights. So I'll make sure that my darks are dark enough and my lights are light enough. A few of my lines were not quite thin enough for my liking, but I can use a trick to fix it. I use the color from the layer underneath it to make thin lines. I go on either side of the line and make it very thin. I do this with the lateral line of the fish. Once I was happy with the overall blend and colors of the fish, I can go with my liner brush and create fine detail. This is where I can use my bright whites, then go over them with colors. This makes the color pop. I leave a few lines of bright white on places for bright highlights. I work on the fins and leave the eyes for last. This makes the animal come alive. I always finish my paintings with either glitter, pearlescent paint, or glass bead medium. This causes the paint to dance in the light. Unfortunately, my camera doesn't capture these mediums very well. That is why I need to show my art in person. There is another depth to them when they can play with the light. You can see the different layers, you can see everything built up, and it just has a life of its own. I love light play. I will call this painting finished. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, I would like to let you know that I am making a few merchandise for Christmas. I have ornaments that you can order. Just send me a message. They're $15. Here's a picture of them. This one is going to be my Norwegian gnomes, and this one's going to be my Dock the Halls ornament. Like I said, they're $15. Let me know, and we'll figure out a way for you to get those ordered. Just send me a message. That's the easiest way I can find right now. I'm also selling a t-shirt. It features a harbor seal and a Santa hat, and it says Dock the Halls. You can find it at teespring.com/Dock the Halls. I'll put a link down below. I'm selling men's t-shirts, women's v-necks, and long sleeves. But the catch is I'm only selling 50, so buy yours while you can. Those are going to be $20. I want to thank you for participating in this channel, in this community, by leaving likes, comments, sharing, and subscribing for more content. Every little bit helps, and I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, watch last Saturday's video on the science of this animal. Click the I and you'll go there. Happy creating, and God bless.